I'll take out the Winternight Stories because we can actually replay it. Moonshadow is good. But now we see that our opponent has some stuff, so I'll go with an Oculus, and like I said, we have to be extremely aggressive, I feel. So let's do this, and hopefully I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I can actually, what, for 1 or 2 I can make a copy of the Iron Shield elf, right? So I will at least deal a little bit more damage, you know. Issue now is all of our eggs are on the table, and I'm fairly certain our opponent has another board wipe or something like that. Plus we already have 12 cards. We're on 20 lives, so we can easily get killed this turn. Okay, he's still fishing for something, which is good for us. And we got another win. God damn, bro. That was close. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video on the channel. Today's video is going to be another standard deck, and we have a fantastic deck for you guys. I had a blast playing with this deck. It works tremendously well. The synergies are crazy, as you're gonna see in a lot of the videos. Now, a little caveat here to what I'm saying. This is not a deck that I got like 80% win rate after 150,000 games. No, that didn't happen. I'm probably in the red in ranked actually, but I truly believe this deck has a lot of potential. It might be a problem with the way I built the deck. I think I said this during the video, or maybe in the final thoughts. I record this in a weird way. But every time a new set comes out, I like to try different cards of that set. So maybe this is not as optimized as it should, but let's get into the point of the deck. This is an Abhorrent Oculus deck for everyone that plays Magic for at least like a year. This card dominated the format a couple months or years ago. I have no idea at this point. After 2020, time became confusing. But yeah, Abhorrent Oculus is a card that allows you to manifest dread at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, and you need to exile 6 cards from your graveyard if you want to cast. So since that's a steep cost for a card that only costs 3, it's basically 3 plus 6 other cards, you have Helping Hand in your deck that allows you to return a target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So you want to put this in your graveyard and then go get it back with Helping Hand. That's pretty much it. But now, thanks to Lorwyn Eclipsed, we have a lot of stuff that works pretty well with these 2 cards, which is mainly Moonshadow. Moonshadow is a 7/7 for 1 that enters with 6 -1/-1 counters. It has menace, obviously, and whenever 1 or more permanent cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, while this creature has a -1/-1 counter on it, remove a -1/-1 counter from this creature. So what you want to do is you want to put cards in the graveyard, right, while this is on the battlefield. So for that you have Bitter Triumph, for example, that serves as removal and a discard outlet. We have 3 steps ahead that I added to this that serves as a counter, that allows you to copy something and serves as card draw and a discard outlet. You have Iron Shield Elf that I'll probably play with more than 2. I would most likely take out Dream Harvest, but we'll get to that. You have Iron Shield Elf that you can discard a card. It gains indestructible, so it's also a very good blocker against your opponents. You have Likeness Looter that allows you to tap it, draw a card, and discard the card. And the best thing about this card is actually the second ability, because you don't need to tap it, so you can pay it the second it gets to the battlefield. Let's say you have a Moonshadow in the graveyard. What you want to do is you play a Likeness Looter, and before your turn, or even in your turn, it doesn't really matter, you utilize that second ability. You pay 1 and this creature becomes a copy of anything that is in the graveyard that costs 1. In this case it's going to be Moonshadow, and you immediately have a 7/7 flying menace elemental to go to your opponent's face. These 2 in tandem are fantastic. Keeping up with this card stuff, you have Twilight Diviner that surveils, and then it has a second ability that is also fantastic, that whenever 1 or more other creatures you control enter, if they entered or were cast from a graveyard, create a token that's a copy of one of them. This ability triggers only once each turn. You're gonna see a game where I have like 8 Twilight Diviners on the battlefield. It's crazy, trust me. Because with Helping Hand, you'll get creatures out of the graveyard immediately into the battlefield, so that's fantastic. You will trigger this. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Love it. Then you have Overlord of the Balemurk that puts stuff in the graveyard, synergizes perfectly with Moonshadow, and you also get something in your hand. Winternight Stories, draw and discard. Wistfulness, draw and discard. Emptiness, you can actually play this for both modes, so maybe you want to utilize more Emptiness instead of the other ones, but get stuff out of the graveyard into the battlefield directly, so it's kind of like a Helping Hand that costs 2. Then you have Catharsis that helps create 2 1/1 small tokens so they can chump block in the beginning of games mostly. And then I added a Dream Harvest just because you don't never know what you're gonna steal, right? So I won a couple games with this on play. It's pretty fun. I tried it basically. Dawnblast Pennant was added because you can get stuff from your graveyard into your hand, which is pretty good. It also gives you a little bit of life every time a creature that's an elemental, elf, fairy, giant, goblin, kithkin, merfolk, or treefolk you choose enters the battlefield. You'll most likely choose elemental because that's what you have the most. And then you have Requiting Hex, I think that's the name. You know, it kills cubs, it kills Moonshadows if you're playing against it, pretty decent. And then you have some survey lands as well, with Shadowway Backstreet, Undercity Sewers, and that's pretty much it. Also Agna Qel'a will draw and discard, so everything synergizes with everything. It's pretty decent. I've yapped for long enough. I'm gonna let the game speak for themselves. Trust me, I think you're gonna like this deck. I think it has a lot of potential, and I really do think you guys should at least try this if you already have the cards or if you have the wild cards for it. So I'm not gonna yap much longer. Let's get into the games. Roy 18 the Fervent. He looks very fervent. I will keep this hand just because we have black and white. Obviously we have Orzhov. We're missing blue, but only for the Likeness Looter. And we have 2 Bitter Triumphs and an Overlord of the Balemurk that will be helpful to get something else into our hand and some stuff into the graveyard. But I would not advise anyone to keep this hand. It's not a great hand. Okay. Are we going to play against a very controlly deck again? I don't know why Arena does this. Just give me the 4 versions of each. It's completely indifferent. I don't know why it took so long. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so it's gonna be, I was gonna say is it lessons, but we only saw mono blue so far, so I'm gonna pay 2. Screw it. Life might be important in the future, so we'll take a wistfulness. Why not? We don't have blue. Yeah, it's, I knew it. I knew it. We don't need to see anything. I knew it. I'll take Watery Grave and I'll put Moonshadow in the graveyard because with Likeness Looter we can transform the Likeness Looter into a Moonshadow immediately. Well, not immediately, it needs to remain on the battlefield for a turn, which pretty sure is not gonna happen. Pretty sure. So, oh, I actually could have done that, but oh well. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Let's see what our opponent does, because I'm fairly certain he has something. Maybe a counter, maybe whatever, I don't know. I'll take out the Oculus. Let me do this now. For 1 Moonshadow. I doubt that's gonna work, but okay, that was interesting. It's a 7/7 now, so it's a little bit trickier to deal with, but sure, I guess. Okay, artist talent. And we got an Oculus now. I'm going to Moonshadow first and foremost. And I will evoke the Wistfulness. We cannot 3 steps ahead, but we can... Okay, so I need to pay 2. Taking life. I'll pay the 2, why not? Drawing cards is good, so Abhorrent Oculus. And we are going to go with Helping Hand, putting the Abhorrent Oculus on the battlefield. And we can gain 2 life, but our opponent has a lot of stuff. For sure, our opponent has a lot of stuff there. He can deal 6 now and 6 on his own turn. So I don't really know how we're gonna get out of this one, but sure, there's a way. Let's see. Okay, so he's creating... No, he's drawing 2 cards. Okay. He discarded the other 3 steps ahead. 3, 6. We cannot use that mode now. Gonna draw cards probably. Okay, chose both modes. And he still has at least 3 mana to try and do something. Okay. I guess I'm going to attack. Obviously. There's not a lot I can do, right? I'll go with that one. Yeah, he's saying good game because... Oh no! He won! Okay, so that was a decent one. I don't understand how with 3 cards in hand and 3 mana available, 2 Monument to Endurances and me with just 4 life, our opponent didn't have a single non-creature spell, so I'm guessing we were very lucky. But the deck worked perfectly. I love the interaction with Likeness Looter and Moonshadow. It's actually pretty solid, so can't really complain. Let's get into another one. We just had a great game. It was a loss. It was very long, that's why it's not gonna go into the video, but it was a great game against a mono green deck. It was a cub deck, but it played the Predator Ooze or something like that, and you know, it's indestructible. We could not deal with 2 of them on the battlefield, both indestructible. It was a little too much for us. I'll take another land. But it was a very fun game, just luck wasn't really on our side, I guess. I will go with the Overlord. I want to see everything we can get. Nothing. We got nothing. Because, of course, we did. So as always, if we get another win, we're gonna try. And we're playing against I don't even know what. Sure, we can Diviner. We can get our creature counter. That's what I meant. Sorry. We did it. We did it. Everything's fine. Do I need another land? Actually, no. No, because if I play the Overlord, I'm just gonna lose it either way. So what I was saying, it was interesting, just kind of sucked at the same time because that my god, I will not ever understand why our opponents get a split up just for 1 creature that is not like I don't know, a Nardin, a Yuna, you know, something crazy like that. That's insane, man. I'm just gonna go get it back, so I'll go with the likeness looter, and who knows, maybe next turn we'll copy the Oculus if it survives. Who knows? Okay, so Lunar Insight and stuff like that. I kinda don't want to copy, to be honest. I will go with the Diviner again. I don't mind that. That's fine by me. Dream Harvest and 3 steps ahead. Nah, I can't take... Actually, neither of these. None of that is even remotely interesting for us right now. One costs 7, which is ridiculous. Is this gonna be... I have no idea what this might be. That's my issue with our opponent's stack. I think I'm gonna go just with the Iron Shield Elf. And attack and see what our opponent does. Probably as like yeah, something like that. But what he doesn't know is that we can actually do this. See? Ooh, I like that. I actually like that. I will... yeah, I will Wistfulness, I think. I don't mind that he gets another life. 2 lands, yeah, that's exactly what I want. Don't know why people... really don't know why this wouldn't be exactly what I was looking for. Okay, I'll discard what? The Moonshadow. There's a reason for why I'm discarding the Moonshadow. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It's to copy it with likeness looter if I can. You knew it. Okay, so it's a Sabsunan deck. Kinda weird. In 2026, having a Sabsunan deck is kinda weird, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna Twilight Diviner again. This can't attack a block unless it has an even number of counters. At the beginning of your first main phase, put a counter. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. Pretty sure our opponent will have another board wipe. Okay, Prismatic Undercurrent. He's gonna look for 3 lands. Put them in the hand. Day of Judgment, most likely. No, the Water Crystal. Is this a mill? I'm so confused with whatever it is that I'm seeing right now, but sure. I'll take it, I guess. So, first of all, 1 Moonshadow. Okay. Second of all, attacking. Milling a lot of stuff, I guess. I think I'm gonna go with another likeness looter just because, you know, I'm assuming our opponent has something a little bit crazy there happening. Actually, no. I'm just gonna do this. I have no idea what the hell is happening, so very confused with everything. Okay, so Water Crystal mills the number of cards in your hand, so that costs 6. I'll have to mill 9 cards. I have 26 cards. Dream Harvest. Okay. Moonshadow. Moonshadow and Winternight Stories. We are playing with the same card, which is pretty decent, pretty interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now if he pays, it's 7 plus 4, right? Nope. Still 5 plus 4. I am so confused. Okay, so we got the win. I'm very confused with whatever it is our opponent is playing. I understand it's some sort of meal control deck, but then it plays with Sabsunen and Dream Harvest. I don't know, and Prismatic Undercurrents, which kind of makes sense. Could this be like a doppelgang deck as well? I don't know, man. We got the win, that's what matters. Let's see how this deck performs on rank. I believe so freaking much in this deck, man. Let's see if D-Money makes me believe a little bit more, a little bit harder. Not great. Not a great start, but we have a Survey land. Yeah, I think I'll keep. Iron Shield Elf might be helpful. But let's see what we get with the Survey land first. I'll take a bit of Triumph as well. We have no idea what our opponent is playing with, but... sure. I'll go with that. We need another blue so we can actually start casting the Wistfulness. Or better yet, so that we can draw with the Wistfulness. I don't care. That's fine. Okay, there we go. So we are going to draw 2 cards and discard the card, which is fantastic for us. That's exactly what we want to do. And we have an Abhorrent Oculus already. Unfortunately, we don't have the white available, but with a little bit of luck, that's fine by me. That's all I need. Yeah, we needed the white. So, Abhorrent Oculus. Let's see what our opponent have or has with white. Well, neither is important, so neither really does anything for us. So, okay, Simrip. That's the thing he chose. I am super fine with that. I'm going to go with Moonshadow, and I know this is what... Okay, that's fine. It only costs 2 more. In that case, should I Shadowy Backstreet? Yes, I should. I still should Shadowy Backstreet. Why not? I'll take another City Sewers. He's gonna block? No? No, okay. I forgot about this. I always do that. Well, doesn't matter then. I really truly believe in this deck, man. Another Simrip. Okay. It's like I truly believe in this deck, but the game really wants me not to, so it's very difficult sometimes, you know. Okay. Should I? Shouldn't I? I'll take it. This. Okay, I'll take it. Let's see what happens. I'm sure our opponent has bigger threats. I'm gonna go with Moonshadow again. He probably has another one. Yep. That was extremely obvious. Now, next turn I will most likely, or in this case on our opponent's turn, I will most likely... Beautiful. Will most likely Bitter Triumph one of the Aven Interrupters just because... Another one? Brother, this is ridiculous. Okay, sure, why not? Let's keep pretending this is normal gameplay from Magic, you know? 60 cards, he saw all 4 Simrips. Sure. I will discard the card. This gives value 3 or less. Yeah, sure. I'll take out the Twilight Diviner. make my life a little bit, let's see what he has now. Another Raven Interrupter? Okay, Aang Swift Savior on the Abhorrent Oculus. Our opponent came with everything, man. Absolutely everything. Okay, so that's another one. What can I do? I could Helping Hand the Twilight Diviner, but now I'll go with the Abhorrent Oculus. I'll take that. Ah, this game loves to annoy me. Okay, so I'll do this. Twilight Diviner for sure. At least we know there's no more Sim Rips on my opponent's deck, which is a-okay by me. That's ridiculous, brother. Okay, another Twilight Diviner. That's not terrible. So, I'll go with this. First and foremost, this doesn't count. So now we have a 3/3 as well. And I'll go with this. Get another Twilight Diviner. Sure. Helping Hand, yeah, I want both. Actually, I could attack with the Abhorrent Oculus. We will have a way of getting it back. I can actually attack with everything. Let's see. I'm going to be super aggressive. Let's see what our opponent does, because he can block one and not have it destroyed. He can block one and destroy something. Okay, so he thinks the Moonshadow is more important than the Oculus. That is kind of weird, not gonna lie. Moonshadow, obviously. Forgot about that again. I'm not like a super big Oculus player, and we got the win. So even with Magic the Gathering Arena once again quote unquote randomly selecting perfect cards for our opponent, my guy saw the 4 Sim Rips he had. That is insane. It's like every turn a Sim Rip. Insanity. But with that being said, Twilight Diviner's ability, copying another Twilight Diviner, Abhorrent Oculus, and obviously Moonshadow carried us throughout the game. We were never in a bad spot, even though our opponent, you know, this is me not saying anything that could cancel me. But yeah, like 4 Sim Rips is crazy, but we got the win. Let's get into another one. So let's see what our lucky firefighter Mots, I guess, is against as well. It starts off pretty strong with just a 1 land hand. We got a mulligan. Okay, much better. We are going to keep and take out the Catharsis. Unfortunately, no survey lands, but you know, we have enough to do some stuff. Well, at least to play the Overlord of the Balemurk, Bitter Triumph, and the Helping Hand. So let's see if we get countered or something immediately. No. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to expect. Oh my god. I want the Likeness Looter. That's most likely what we're gonna play. So let's see. I have actually started this, and I think the first couple of games were with I'm gonna play the looter. Were with a 23 land deck, but we were being flooded constantly. I went down to 22. We kept getting flooded. I went down to 21, and the flooding kind of stopped. And so far, I've played a couple games on play and on ranked. We haven't been it's that crap. We haven't been neither flooded nor screwed until now. So let's see. I will take out the Twilight Diviner because we can get it back with the Helping Hand. So that is the idea, I think. Now let's Surveil 2, which this is a terrible matchup. I don't think we're gonna be hit with a lot of creatures. I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive because we have no way of dealing with the River Churn Monument. So we kinda need to start dealing some damage. Also, what I'm gonna try and do now is, like, for example, next turn, if I don't really have anything to do, I could play, for example, Winternight Stories, but I think I'm gonna try and keep the 3 steps ahead open, you know? Our opponent clearly has something. I think I'm gonna attack with those 2, only those 2. Because, what's it called, the card? Singularity Rapture or something? I really don't want our opponent to Singularity Rapture. That's the danger of this deck, I think. Because for now, like, he's doing 2 at a time. I'm dealing a little bit, you know, a little bit of damage each turn, so loses all abilities and they get destroyed. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. I know what I said, and I don't think I have any more. Yeah, I don't, so we're kind of screwed now. I think I'm gonna do this as well. I'll take out the Winternight Stories because we can actually replay it. Moonshadow is good, but now we see that our opponent has some stuff, so I'll go with an Oculus, and like I said, we have to be extremely aggressive, I feel. So let's do this, and hopefully I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I can actually, what, for 1, for 2, I can make a copy of the Iron Shield elf, right? So I will at least deal a little bit more damage, you know? Issue now is all of our eggs are on the table, and I'm fairly certain our opponent has another board wipe or something like that. Plus we already have 12 cards. We're on 20 lives, so we can easily get killed this turn. Okay, he's still fishing for something, which is good for us. And we got another win. God damn, bro. That was close. I really, like, Mill is one of those strategies that I really struggle against because the decks always seem like they're not really doing anything. As always, I'm not gonna respond. I'm not gonna say I'm happy, you know. Let's put the tinfoil hat for a second. Mill is always one of those strategies where the deck seems like they're not doing anything, and in a turn they win. And River Churn Monument is crazy, and Singularity Rapture, I think that's the name of the card. I might be confusing it with something else. Those 2 cards together made Mill decks a thing again, so, you know, and obviously this kind of deck needs a lot of board wipes. He tried hitting us with 1, a great one, by the way, because our creatures would lose all abilities, meaning that I wouldn't even be able to utilize the Iron Shield Elf's ability because it would make him indestructible, but then it will lose that, I think. I think it works that way. But I think we played pretty decently. We got another win, which is fantastic. Let's get into another one. Okay, so after that last win you guys saw, we had a loss against the Boros tokens, but it was a much more control-y Boros tokens. It had several board wipes, perilous snares and stuff like that, so very confusing. Well, not confusing, but not the list I'm probably used to seeing, maybe. I think I'll keep this. We can play the Overlord, like Miss Luther, the X as well. Just not the Helping Hand. Okay, we can go with the Helping Hand now. I'll go with this one, why not? Next turn I'll probably swamp just so that the Agna Qel'a can come in untap, but okay, so I know exactly what this is. Perfect. This is Reanimator, so it's good we took care of that crap. Let's Moonshadow and let's swamp. Let's put a little bit of fear in our opponent. Town Greeter. He has a lot of ways of doing that. So he lost 2 Cavalleros, which is good for us. But I'm pretty sure he has another one because he just put a 4th land there. So I'm going to Agna Qel'a and I'm going to Overlord of the Balemurk. Let's see what we get. Another Moonshadow that we can play. So yeah, Moonshadow is coming in. I'm gonna go with that, so that way next turn when we helping hand the Twilight Diviner, if possible, both of our Moonshadows can get a little bit bigger instead of just one. So it's another threat, which is fantastic. Let's see. Okay. Oblivious Bookworm is probably what he's going to choose. Either that or Cavallero if he doesn't have any. Okay, I guess he didn't. Sure. That doesn't really matter. Twilight Diviner coming in. Tap, but again, doesn't really matter. No more lands for me. Thank you very much. We are far from winning this game, but we will be as aggressive as possible. So Cavallero can already get back a Wistfulness, but that's not the point of the deck. Probably what? Something, a Bookworm, a Town Greeter? No. Why did it do that way? Oh, Wistfulness? No. I'm confused, but I'm sure there's a reason. Is it possible not to take my entire board out for a turn? Maybe, please? Don't be that person. Okay, so Cavallero is gonna go get Wistfulness most likely. Right? Yep. So he's gonna draw and discard and he's gonna take out my Overlord. I'm not super mad about that. Because we get a Wistfulness of our own. We don't really have anything interesting here. We could go with the actual Wistfulness, like a 6/5 creature, but I think I want to still evoke it because we might get something interesting out of the cards that we draw. We're gonna get Moonshadows too. That kind of sucks, but I will take out what? Yeah, the land. Nah, yeah, the land. It has to be the land. Yep. So those get bigger. And now I can use Bitter Triumph. I will pay 3 life. I don't care. Take that out. And we got the win. Okay, so this was pretty awesome. Again, maybe we got a little bit lucky with the fact that our opponent didn't get, maybe this is a new list, but I'm pretty sure, a Bringer of the Last Gift or something, whatever that big ass creature is named. We're pretty lucky our opponent didn't get any. He tried, you know, with the Oblivious Bookworm that we killed immediately. He had the Wistfulness, he had Town Greeter, Overlord of the Balemurk as well, so there were things happening. None hit the battlefield, luckily. This turn we would be dealing at least, this would be 5, this would be 4, so at least 9 to our opponent, so we would be winning. That's why our opponent just quit. I didn't even do the math, but we would be winning this turn against one of the better decks in the format for the last couple of weeks / months at least. So pretty decent win, pretty happy with the deck. Let's get into the final thoughts. So final thoughts, everyone. I love this deck, man. Honestly, I think it has a lot of potential. I think it can get better. Don't get me wrong, I've made a couple changes to the list like I always do. I like to try and create something that's a little bit my own, a little bit my style of play, you know. And every time a new set comes out, I always try to, well, not force some cards from that set into the deck. They need to make sense in a way, but I like to try them. So this deck was very strong at a certain point. Abhorrent Oculus dominated the meta, then it kind of dropped off, but I really feel like this is the kind of deck that can put in a shift for you. I really like this type of synergy that you draw cards, you put stuff in the graveyard, you make them come back, you know, you get a lot of enter the battlefield triggers, leave the battlefield triggers, leave the graveyard triggers, you know, a lot of stuff that's pretty cool. And Lorwyn really helped us do that. Like, for example, the list I saw, or the video I saw, I don't remember where I got this, sorry, but the list I saw didn't really play. I think it played with Emptiness because the colors match, but not anything else. He probably played with 4, and I added Dream Harvest because, you know, it's a card that, yeah, it's super expensive. It probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but you will steal some cool stuff from your opponents. I've won a couple games thanks to this card on play, mostly while testing out the deck. Wistfulness, we don't play with green, so we're losing a lot of stuff, but we can add multiversal passages, we can add starting towns to the deck and just be able to utilize all of this. I just now remember that we have those kinds of lands, so we can do that. But Wistfulness I added because of the draw and discard effect. Catharsis I added to get 2 tokens so we can have some chump blockers when we're playing against decks that are very aggressive. And Emptiness is here because it's fantastic in the sense that you can cast it for 6 and have a big 3/5 and select whatever you want. You can cast it for 2, kill a creature or make a creature much smaller, for example an Ouroboros, make it -3/-3 than it is. You can look into that graveyard synergy with paying 2 white, so it makes a lot of sense. Don't remember if Winternight Stories was on the list, but it's a fantastic card. I know Dawn Blast Pennant was not on the list. I added it because we have a lot of elementals. Wistfulness, Emptiness, Catharsis, they're all elementals, and the most important one is Moonshadow, so we have basically 7 elementals that we are going to keep bringing back, right? So it helps with a little bit of life gain. Plus, you can sacrifice this and return them, so it's another graveyard synergy. I thought it was pretty decent. Requiting Hex was on the list, I'm pretty sure, and it's a very good card. You can gain some life, which helps staying in the game, you know, against a lot of decks these days. And you can kill a creature like a cub, for example, which is very, very strong, so very good. Then you have Moonshadow, which is fantastic. What a goddamn card, man. And I love Twilight Diviner. Twilight Diviner is very, very good paired up with Moonshadow. Likeness Looter, I love the synergy between Likeness Looter and Moonshadow. I didn't even realize that when it comes into the battlefield, if you copy it using the second ability, it comes in like a 7/7 flyer, which is crazy. If you time this right, it can be a game ender. Overlord of the Balemurk is very good. This card, I actually would probably take out Dream Harvest and put Iron Shield Elves more, because if you play this on turn 2, you can get the discard synergies with the Moonshadow, and you also have an indestructible blocker, so pretty good. I shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna go get the card back. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back with the deck completed. But yeah, man, like I've been speaking for a long time, but I feel like there's a lot to say about this deck, even though I said a lot of this in the intro already. Pretty good deck. I really think this has room to grow. Let me know if you guys try this. Let me know what cards am I missing, especially from the new set, you know, just to make it a little bit fresher and different than everything else that is out there. That's what I like to try and do. But yeah, this was the video. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave the like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We are on 324 subs right now, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Really is appreciated. I don't think you guys understand that. I know I say this in every single video pretty much since video number 1, and it's been a while already, but every single subscriber I get, you know, brings me a little bit of joy. I do this as a hobby. I don't expect to make this a career or anything, but you know, I still like to feel like I'm succeeding even though it's a hobby. Does that make sense? Whatever. Still, thank you very much, really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments if you guys try out this deck and how it goes for you, if you actually have more success than me, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.